Good morning. We are out here on another California adventure. I'm with Masha, which means we're doing some multi-pitch trad climbing. We are at Lover's Leap right now. It is absolutely beautiful. And the first route we're going to get on is Haystack Crack. The 2021 Caldor fire was not very nice to this area. Clearly the trees really changed the character. Fortunately though, it did not change the climb. Here we are at the base of Haystack. The rock here is so cool. All like the dikes and intrusions like zigzagging everywhere, super aesthetic, and they make great handed footholds. Welcome back to Adventure Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was day one of a 3-day Lover's Leap climbing trip that I was really looking forward to. I'd only climbed at Lover's Leap 2 other days before, and one of those was a crowded weekend day, so I really hadn't been on too many routes here. I was really hoping that with 3 weekdays in a row to climb, we could get a full sampling of what this area had to offer. We had a casual morning, waking up in San Francisco and leaving after the rush hour traffic, so we got to Lover's Leap sometime around noon, and then took us a little bit of time to secure a campsite for the next couple nights and then rack up. Our first route was Haystack Crack, which is a super classic 3-pitch 5/8 on the east wall. This was a really nice introduction to the trip because the first and third pitches are actually pretty mellow, and there's really only a few sections of 5/8 on the crux pitch, which is the second pitch. First pitch is kind of just rambly, blocky, ledgy terrain, mostly in the 5/5, 5/6 realm, but it was good to kind of get the blood flowing and get me used to the style of climbing here. Those dikes in the wall are really interesting because they add a lot of features. Lover's Leap has some of the steepest moderate trad climbing around, and that's really because the dikes give you good feet, good hands, sort of everywhere that you need it. So instead of, just climbing really sustained splitter cracks, you have some options, and I'm definitely guilty of, grabbing a dike and crimping it pretty hard instead of, jamming a crack, because that's kind of just the climber that I am. Then it became my turn to lead pitch 2, which is both the crux pitch and the money pitch of the climb. It starts with about 15 feet of similar, easier 5/6, 5/5 terrain like the first pitch before you encounter the first crux, which is this bulge right here. This move's definitely 5/8, and it is so really just because all of a sudden the dikes get a little less featured, so you just don't have as much to hold on to. I found a few kind of small things that got me up high enough where I could actually make this move. You basically just have your left hand in the crack and then your right hand on a very thin, sort of slightly slopey dike, and you just have to commit to trusting your left foot while you get your body up over the bulge, even though you think that right hand's gonna pop on you any second. Oh. There we go. That's the jam we needed. After the bulge, you have about 15 feet of probably 5/7 terrain that's a little thinner than anything you've experienced before, but it goes pretty well. But the whole time in the back of your mind, you have that roof up above you. And that roof's pretty big, and it's definitely cruxy. After sewing it up, this is me navigating the crux, which honestly definitely was a little intimidating. Making these moves up to the roof, the feet are pretty small, so you really gotta trust your feet, which is something I do not do, but if you do that, it makes life a lot easier. Working out the crack too, also, all of a sudden you have a lot of weight on your arms, which you really haven't had so far in the climb, so you're definitely feeling that. And just finding feet that I felt like I could trust was definitely a little tricky, so don't be like me and trust your feet and everything will be fine. Pulling around this corner feels really awkward. You grab the top of the crack and it's not quite as good as you want it to be. There's a hidden jug somewhere, and the relief when you find it is immense. So as I was pulling around the corner, I actually made this mistake of jamming this crack thumbs down. Biomechanically, it's really hard to get a thumbs down jam up high, so I couldn't really move from this position, but once I flipped it to a thumbs up, I was able to get my body weight around the corner and pull up, and it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of weight on that right hand jam, however. It felt really good to actually trust it and be able to pull around the corner. Those Vibram crack gloves make all the difference. Highly recommend. Once I pulled that crux roof, there really wasn't too much going on. It kind of eases back to 5/6, 5/7 for another 50 or so feet till you pull up to the top of this little tower and you can build a belay. Hanging out on the ledge for pitch number 2. pretty nice up here. Hip flexibility for days. After a quick gear transfer, Masha took the lead for the final pitch. This pitch eases once again back to kind of 5-6 with the occasional 5-7 move, which Masha was able to lead strongly and confidently and did a great job on. I followed with minimal drama. I was feeling really good after doing that crux pitch, and especially since I was following, I was able to just kind of romp my way up and enjoy the view. Nice, Masha, you're looking great. Hello. Nice job. All right, so we just got to the base of the groove. This will probably be our last climb of the day. Single pitch 5-8, looks like a lot of fun. And it certainly was a lot of fun. Here I am leaving the ground, which many people consider to be the 5-8 crux, although I honestly didn't think it was much harder or easier than some of the other moves I found later on in the route. You gotta kind of just lie back that crack and get your feet up onto something good so you can kind of rock and stand up. After that, you have about 20 feet of pretty chill jugs before you get into the groove proper, which is a little water runnel. You're just doing kind of the same move over and over again. Some people have nicknamed this climb the move because you kind of are doing the same thing over and over again. You kind of just have your right hand in the crack, your left hand outside for stability, and then you have usually like a marginal left foot so you can get your right foot high on something good, rock over, stand up, and do it again. Another fun thing you can do with this route is actually lead it entirely on passive protection. So if you're the type of person who really likes using nuts and want a little bit of a challenge, this can be a fun way to do it. I did not end up doing it like that. I wanted to just kind of get to the top. As you can see by the sun, the light was starting to fade. It was approaching glow time, and I didn't need to be fiddling with nuts when I wanted to just kind of get up so we could get to camp and have some dinner and call it a day. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is so good. All right. This is so cool. And just like that, we are back at the car. Kind of a short day. Once again, we woke up in San Francisco, so we got here after lunch. So we really had only time to do a half day, and that was exactly what we did. But it was a lot of fun to climb some super, super classic routes. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. I got weekly adventures coming up, and I will see you on another adventure.